I personally think the importance of the funded ratio itself is overstated. I think the important thing is, as Brad mentioned before, is the idea, the long-term commitment to making the contribution to pay down that unfunded. And if that contribution is paid over time, then the unfunded liability of the plan will start to go down. I think in terms of funded ratio, probably the most important thing to look at is not so much funded ratio, but the cash flow. Is there enough cash at hand to pay benefits? Are the assets in danger of running out and so on? And as far as the police plan is, that is not going to happen anytime soon. So I think, again, I know there's a lot of importance paid to it in the press, but to some extent, I think that's overdone.
And Matt, I would echo Jose's last comments.
Right. And I guess I would as well. And so, again, it's just sort of another point to be made about why just looking at a single metric called the funded ratio is really a dangerous thing to do when trying to determine the health of any pension fund.
All right, but we were talking about the funded ratio of the city plans compared to other cities that you work with. So I wasn't sure where we're in line with some of those other cities. I know everybody answered those things, but I wasn't sure what cities you were referring to as in your...
Like I said, I do mostly valuations for plans in North Florida, and they generally have better funded ratios. I also like to point out that I think funded ratios are a red herring. That, to me, I wouldn't focus on that at all. I'd focus on the amount of contribution requirements, because that's what's key. The state requires you to pay them on an actuarially sound basis. So to me, that should be our focus, not current funded status. I wouldn't use that for anything as far as I was concerned. So I don't care whether it's 50 or 70 or 90, I really don't, because it's not going to be a funding, a cash flow issue for these plans. The present value of these liabilities are payable over the next 20 to 30 years. We don't need all the money now. So I don't see that as the most important thing to address. In fact, it's the least most important thing to address.